In June of 2010, the World Cup graced the continent of Africa for the first time in the South African World Cup. It was a momentous occasion for the continent of Africa and for world soccer as a whole. But did this World Cup really change Americans' perceptions of the game? Do they really know any more about it than they did before? Here to join me in this investigative documentary is my good friend, Jonathan Dusa. So Jonathan, what do you think about football, the beautiful game?
Oh, boy, do I love that game. 11 on 11, pigskin, Sunday afternoon, cheerleaders, and boy, do I love those GoDaddy commercials.
No. Jonathan, we're talking about football as in soccer? Football in Espanol?
Where I come from, only girls play that game.
Oh, my goodness. Well, hopefully, the rest of the American public isn't quite as ignorant as our friend Jonathan here.
I'm just saying it how it is.
Let's see how many people around Claremont actually follow world soccer.
Do I follow world soccer? Yes.
Yes, I do.
A little bit, yeah.
Not as much as I used to do, like 7 years before.
Every day I wake up and follow world soccer. Come on, who doesn't?
Intensely.
Rest of the world, it's about soccer. So you gotta follow soccer.
So, Jonathan, what's the first thing that pops into your knowledgeable mind when you think of African soccer?
Condoms.
I'm very interested in the African Nations Cup, for example, and there's a very interesting history there.
I think of Ghana. I think of Ghana doing so well in the World Cup.
Yes, we did.
I think of fast, really fast-paced foot soccer.
African soccer is kind of rough. And even if kids grow up loving soccer, they have no access to all these, facilities, like let me say playing grounds, fields, grassy fields. They have no access to cleats. They have no access to balls. So, by they improvise, you find them, making these balls, playing barefooted in like rocky areas, hiding their feet. But it's kind of rough, but they enjoy it. But it also comes with a cost that it makes them harder. It makes them rougher. So they're very aggressive. The kind of soccer they play, I would call it street soccer.
I tell you what I really think about African soccer. There's no such thing as African soccer. But it's that it's creamed off.
It's because they usually export most of their young players, right?
It used to be good, but now it's not like that good. I don't know what's the problem, maybe the coach or maybe the players, but it used to be better.
So the African countries, my guess would be since the 1990s have really blossomed on the world scene. Prior to that time, when you looked at African soccer players, many of them played for other countries.
I'll use a comparison that Scottish people would hate, but Scotland was like that for a long time. It was just a base for English football.
Now, Jonathan, don't take this the wrong way, but I sincerely doubt you can name 3 African soccer players.
I beg to differ, my friend.
Well, let's hear him.
Drogba. Didier Drogba.
Drogba, very nice. All right, impressive. All right, who's the second? Baby Jet.
Baby Jet, BK, what do this be to you? I thank you, I don't be do the
Baby Jet, I believe his real name is Asamoah Gyan, your Ghanaian friend?
Baby Jet, BK, what do this be to you?
Alright, never mind. Who's the third?
Chad Ochocinco.
Chad Ochocinco plays American football. Oh, okay. I'm not even talking to you anymore. Let's see what the smart people have to say about it. Jesus.
Drogba comes to mind from the Ivory Coast, I believe.
I got a lot of African players. Come on, is that a question?
Well, Touré, the two Tourés.
Simba Jabran. Yeah.
Omar Bijik, who used to play for Cameroon.
Maybe like Essien, Drogba, Prince.
Is that like DJ Drogba, like Diop, Carlo?
I know Moroccan players like Mustafa Haji.
Kevin Prince.
Pina, who plays for Everton, who's a South African player.
Salahuddin Bakr, Shamak, Zairi. Yeah.
Kalusha.
Most of our talent is abroad, showcasing what Africa has to offer.
All right, Jonathan, now here's a really easy one. Name 3 African countries that have participated in the World Cup.
I have 3 words for you. Djibouti, Djibouti, Djibouti.
Is this guy serious?
Every year, we have how many? 5 African countries competing in the World Cup.
Cameroon, which made huge splashes in 90 and 94.
That's easy.
So Ivory Coast.
Cameroon, and Morocco was like pre-selection, but they didn't go. And who else? I guess Nigeria.
West African teams, again, Cameroon, Ghana, and Ivory Coast, and Nigeria. And there's also been a consistent high level of participation by North African teams, but it's the West African teams that have gained the most attention.
Egypt has always been there, except last year Egypt didn't compete. I can just give examples from last year. Ghana has been really impressive of recent, the last 2 World Cups. Senegal is always, Senegal surprised people against France. We have like, Ivory Coast is a really strong country. We have Cameroon. We have the regular countries like Nigeria, Cameroon, Ivory Coast. So they're like the strong, powers. Egypt, those 4 countries, always at least 3 of them make it to the World Cup.
Ghana, Cameroon, Senegal.
Yes.
So, Jonathan, our final question for you today is, why do you think football is so much more popular in other parts of the world, not in the United States?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, you know what? I bet you don't know. Why am I asking you in the first place? This is just... what a waste of my time. Good God.
I honestly don't know the reason, but like I've never thought about it before.
It's probably because of the money. And so kids now in America, the best or the most well-paid athletes are not in soccer. They're in other sports like baseball and basketball and football. And in other countries, the best athletes go to soccer because that's where the most money is.
It makes money. So, still I think culturally in society we struggle a little bit to get the better athletes playing soccer.
For Americans, they have their own football to be to take care of, and I think it's something that distinguishes them from the other countries and the rest of the world.
And I went to see the US versus Honduras. Say 2/3 of the crowd were supporting Honduras.
Well, then people don't follow the American League, which is different to people don't follow soccer.
That soccer fans in the rest of the world severely underestimate the size and importance of soccer culture within the United States.
More people watch the Soccer World Cup than the Final Four tournament.
It doesn't have the prominence of American football and baseball, but there is a huge soccer subculture in the United States. A lot of US soccer fans don't follow MLS teams, they follow the European teams for the same reason that Europeans and Africans and Asians might follow NBA teams if they're basketball fans, because that's where the best level of play is.
Who doesn't like soccer? Soccer has already changed the world in so many ways, especially for kids, young kids who sit down and watch, all these great players like Zinedine Zidane, Cristiano Ronaldo. It's changing the world because, especially for African players like Didier Drogba and all these others. For African kids, it's they look at them and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna go to the field, sit my ass down and practice. Because you know what, even if life is tough and rough out here, I can get a chance. I can use soccer to make my life better.
So with the 2010 South African World Cup, Africa will always have a place in World Cup history. So Jonathan, our documentary today was very informative. I hope that, ignorant as you were about world football, you learned something.
Oh, I guess I did. I'd really like to thank you, Dr. Kendall. You've really opened my eyes to the beautiful game.
Well, Dr. Jonathan, that's wonderful. That means a lot to me. If only all Americans were as open-minded about football as you are.
If only the commissioner of the NFL was as open-minded as you are, he would end this damn lockout.
No, Jonathan, we're talking about... You know what? I'm done with you. I'm done with... What? Scotch! We need scotch!
And bring me some Henny.
Castro again, oh, featuring Baby Jet, BK, what do this beat to you? I thank you, I don't be do the dumpy, yeah. We are back on, no, that's where you're back on, no. We are back on, no, that's where you're back on, no. I swear, say, I want you, that's your phone. When my African gets the beat, dance to the groove and feel the heat. I swear, someone anti, you know, you're the one, so I'm not traffic.